Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashim Yahushua, brother Yahweh with the servants back at it again, right? With another video through the spirit, right? And so we're going to get into it. It says some things you might have to give up if you want the kingdom, right? So when I say that, you got to understand that when it comes to this kingdom, hey, you got to be prepared to take a loss here and there, right? Some things you got to be willing to give up, right? So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. And let me share my screen. And again, I want to give all honor glory to you. How about Shem Yahushua? So I'm going to Philippians. Right, we're going to Philippians chapter 3 and verse 7. It says, but what things were gains to me, those I counted for loss for Hamashiach. Right, and we gain some things in this world, right? Sometimes you might gain your car, you might gain a name for yourself, you might gain a career, right? You might gain this, you might gain that, right? But you gotta be prepared to count a loss for Hamashiach, right? Because you gotta understand this, right? Yahweh Shai, he lost his life for us, right? So what are you prepared to give up or lose for the Lord? You got to ask yourself, are you willing to give up certain things for the Lord, right? Certain people, certain friends, right? Certain lifestyle choices, right? Just to be close to the Lord. You got to ask yourself that, man. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to give up things, man. And it's true, right? Yea, doubtless, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Mashiach Yahushua, my Lord, right? For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach, right? So these things that we might lose, man, with this in this truth in this walk, man, you might at one point in time you might have a car, you lost a car, you might have people that they lost houses, they lost whatever it may be. And you gotta count those things done, like as it means nothing, right? Because at the end of the day, the Lord can give you any, just like at one moment you might have something, and the next moment you might not have nothing. Right, Lord can give it to you back just like that, right? It's nothing too hard for the Most High. But the thing is, the question is, are you willing to give it up for the Most High? Right, that's the thing. Right, a lot of us we choose right or hold on to things more than we hold on to the Most High. Right, we care for these things of the world or the affairs of the world more than we care about Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right, whether it be your money, right, whether it be your career, right, whether it be women, cars, clothes, shoes, whatever it may be, right? We hold dear to these things more than we dear to the Lord. Right? Some of these things you gotta take it as a loss. And some of these things you really don't need, right? Some of these things that we obtain or have in this world can distract us more from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Let me get a precept in the book of Ecclesiastes. I mean, Sirach, Salaki. No, that's sorry, Second Esdras. Second Esdras chapter 14. Right? Second Esdras chapter 14. And we're gonna go to verse. Okay. Second Esdras chapter 14, and then we're going to 14. It says, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, right? Put off now the weak nature, right? Some things we have to cast off us. Some things we got to remove from us in our body and our mind, right? Whether it be people, right? At one point in time, you might was that favorite cousin, right? The whole time everybody love to hang out with you, come to your house, kick it with you, right? And you trying to hold on to this relationship with your cousin, but you done changed, right? You done changed, you in this truth now. You trying to keep the commandments, right? But you trying to hold on to these relationships with your family members. They don't mean you a damn bit of good, right? They're not trying to help you increase in this truth. They're not trying to help you fast or anything. Anything, they're trying to hold you back, right? What they trying to do? How could your family members possibly hold you back from this truth? Well, they can distract you, right? Especially our family members that's in the world, right? They always want to bite you to the wicked high hole days. Dang, cuzzo, when next time you come by on Thanksgiving, right? And at first you kind of I don't do that no more. But they keep pressing you out, right? and you have yet to sever that relationship with them, and then next thing you know, boom, you back at Auntie Lulu house for Thanksgiving, right? Then kicking back, laughing, right? Keeping a wicked day of this world, right? That's set for the that's celebrating the murder of our forefathers, right? For the Northern Kingdom, right? Or you might have that Christmas dinner, right? At your grandma, right? You love it. Your grandma, she been pressing you out about it, right? And you have let to give up that aid. Now it's not telling you, well, hey, don't speak to your people no more, right? It's not saying that, but you got to be able to cut ties. In this truth, you have to be prepared to cut ties. You got to, right? You got to. Right? Yahweh Shai even said, he said, my mother and my father, my mother and brother's birth paraphrasing, are those that keep the commandments, right? Because our family in the world, sometimes they can be distractions, right? And some people, they don't want to give that up, right? So let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 17. Right? Hold on. Yeah. Romans 8 and 17. And in this thing, man, you're going to suffer things, right? You're going to take losses. You'll take some L's, man. But you got to be prepared, right? You got to be prepared, right? Getting the kingdom ain't a light thing, right? It comes with taking some L's here and there. It comes with taking some losses. It comes with some suffering, right? But are you prepared to go through with it? Are you prepared to follow through with it, right? It's book of Romans chapter 8 verse 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with the Mashiach, right? So if so, be that we suffer with him, right? Because Yahweh Shai, he suffered, right? He suffered. He was getting beat, right? He got spit on, right? He got lied on, right? He got persecuted, and he went through it, right? He suffered. How much so us, right? And if we suffer with him, what it says that we may be also glorified together, right? And what does that mean? Because it says it all right here. It says, then heirs and heirs of Yahweh. Because we know that Yahweh Shai, he's the heir to the throne. He's the heir to the throne. His heritage is the kingdom. It's his. It's for him. It was made. It's for him. But we can be joint heirs with the kingdom with him. But we gotta suffer, just like he did too, right? Just like how he went through, we gotta go through. Just like how he caught some L's, we're gonna have to take some L's. We're gonna have to take some losses, right? But do you really want to do that? Right? Are you really prepared to do that? Right? Especially when you got all these different things going on in the world, right? The different pestilence, the different executive orders, right? All the different things that's coming out, right? Are you prepared to take a loss? Right? You got to ask yourself that. Are you prepared to suffer for this? Are you prepared to suffer with the Lord? Right? So let's keep going. All right, let's go to 2 Thessalonians. All right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. We're gonna start at verse 4. Right? It says, Salakia, move over. 1 and 4. It says, so that we ourselves glory in you, in the churches of God, right? For your patience, right? In faith and in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure. So when you go through all these different persecutions and tribulations, and you got to endure those things, man. You got to endure those things, right? Whether it be, you might suffer loss at your job, right? You might have been, you know what I'm saying, working at this job for however so long, right? But you end up getting laid off, right? Or you end up saying, well, dang, I want to, the job is, you working so much and so hard, right? It's distracting you from truly doing the work of the ministry, right? You got to kind of let it go, right? That way you can put forth more work to the ministry. Sometimes you got to take losses. Sometimes you got to be prepared to lose things, right? And that's kind of the mindset that our forefathers had, right? The things that the Most High gave them, and they was prepared to lose. They were prepared to give it up, right? And I'm gonna get some accounts on that, right? By our forefathers, they was prepared to give. Because you got to understand again, everything that we got, it was given to us by the Most High God, and He can take it away. But the question is, right? When you do take that loss, when you do take that, when something is taken from you, that job, that money, right? Oh, that relationship that you value that really wasn't nothing, right? What you gonna do? Are you gonna turn your back on the Lord? Are you gonna say, man, this truth ain't for me no more? I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of taking L's. Or you gonna drink of the cup? Are you gonna endure, right? The persecutions and the tribulations, right? That's what we gotta do. We gotta endure, right? It says, which is a manifest token of righteous judgment from God. So it's a righteous, it's righteous judgment. Whatever judgment that we receive from the Lord is righteous judgment. It's righteous judgment. And it's easier said than done realizing that, but that's how it is. When you really think about it, right? We really were the death. As much sin, right, and wickedness that we have done in this life, and that's just in this life. We're not talking about lives we lived before, right? So the judgment that we receive, right, it's righteous judgment, right? It says that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of Yahweh, for which ye also suffer, right? Which ye also suffer. So when it's talking about the kingdom and obtaining the kingdom, a place where there's no crying, no sadness, right? Everlasting life, spiritual powers, everything, riches, whatever. All the things, all the goodly, glorious things that come with the kingdom. In that same conversation, you got to be able to handle suffering. You got to be able to handle tribulation. You got to be able to handle persecution, right? So boom. And some things you're going to have to give up, right? So let's go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 21. Book of Matthew chapter 19, verse 21. And it says, right? Yahweh said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in the kingdom, shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Right? So this man, right, he came at this is the same God, right? That asked him, hey Lord, what can I do to get eternal life? Right? What can I do to get to the kingdom of heaven? Same dude. Right? And we go to the precept and say, hey man, you love me. I mean, say you want to get to have eternal life, keep the commandments, right? Then Yahweh start telling him, hey man, don't commit adultery, say, honor thy mother, thy father, right? So forth and so forth. Right? He say, I do all these things I do, right? So boom, we say, well, then Yahweh I put it in his court, like, hey, well, if you want to, if you want to be perfect, hey, sell what you got, right? Give up what you have, right, and come follow me, right? So would you give up some things to come follow the Lord, right? Would you give up that job, give up that money, right? And not just giving up just worldly things, other things, like giving up that lust. That lust, some of us hold on to sin, right? Some of us hold on to sin. You sitting there holding on, right? You won't let it go. You won't let the lust demon go, right? You won't let the pride demon go. You won't let that blunt go. You just won't let it go, right? And now you become a servant of sin because you just won't let it go, right? You won't give up that old lifestyle, that old reputation that you had. Yeah, you was that guy back in the day, right? You know what I'm saying? You had this kind of motion going on. You had that kind of motion going on. You was the man, right? And you still trying to hold on to that same man that you was in this truth. And you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go. Or you was that woman, right? You used to always dress, skimpy, had your revealing clothes on, used to get all these compliments, get all this attention, right? And in your back of your mind, you chasing that. You just won't let it go. You always thinking about like, dang, I so did used to get, hey, you got someone probably really think like this. I know I used to get nowadays I don't get no attention, right? Covered up, right? My body covered up. I don't get that same attention I used to get, right? When I used to wear that tight dress. When I used to wear them shorts, right? Or them tight pants, right? You gotta give it up, right? Or you think about, dang man, I remember I used to be blowing it down every day, blowing down, sack after sack after sack after sack, and you still holding on to that. You in the truth now. You become this new person. You start keeping the commandments, have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, in repenting, but you still holding on to the old man. Still holding on to these different sins. When you need to let them go, just let it go. Just let it go. Right? So let's go to the book of Genesis. Right? Chapter 21. Right? Because see, Abraham, our mighty forefather Abraham, hey man, he had to take some L's, man. He had to take some L's, but he was down with it, right? He fell through it, right? So we're gonna go to two accounts, right? So boom, we're gonna go straight to the point. No, we're gonna go to the 11. So we're gonna go to the account, right? When Abraham had to let Hagar go, let Ishmael go. Now y'all gotta understand, right? This was Abraham's son. It's son, right? Some people might say, well, that was his son from a heathen woman or what? That's still that man's son at the end of the day. And you know how you feel about your children, right? If you're a parent, you know how that feeling is, right? So let's go to Genesis 21:11. It says, and the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And you got some people, man, this truth, right? Some of their kids, they just gotta let go. They don't want to, but they just gotta let go. Now, understand what I mean? You might have some grown children, right? Or you might have a baby mama or something like that. You might have, and she's saying, well, hey, she pressing you out, hey, I ain't gonna let you see your kids, or whatever it may be. Something, it's a lot of different situations, right? To what I'm talking about. So you just gotta let it go. You just gotta let it be. You just gotta like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right, Lord can give you more kids, right? Just being real, right? Because the time is coming where you might get your kids taken from you, and you might it might be a time where they might set the heathen might take your kids and say, man, we're gonna harm your kids if you don't announce the name of the Lord, and we're gonna torture your kids if you don't eat this pork. And you gotta ask yourself, damn, I love my kids, but I love the Lord too. You could be put in a situation where you got to make a decision. What decision you gonna make? You gotta think about this. The woman in the Maccabee story, she sat there and watched her kids, right, get tortured and get slaughtered by the so-called white man, right? But that's just that's what we signed up for. This is what it is: the persecution, the tribulations. Right? A lot of people don't want to have this conversation. Like, man, we gotta actually go. You might have to do that. Yeah, you might be in a situation like that. But what you gonna do with that? All right, what you gonna do with that? It says, and Yahweh said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, because of thy bondwoman, right? And all that Sarah has said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called, right? So he had, even though You know what I'm saying? He loved his son Ishmael, right? It was grievous to him to let him go. He had to let him go, right? Because it was also part of it's also having faith in the promise that the Most High had gave to him. And you got to believe in the promises that the Most High gave us, right? Because if we give up anything for the Lord, right, He can give us double that in the kingdom. Just like with Job. Job lost everything, and the Lord gave him back double. So you can lose some things in this life. You can lose some people in this life. But if you stand 10 toes down with the Most High, and He can bring it back to you double, right? You got to ask yourself, right? And again, this is one of the toughest conversations to have, but it got to be had. Because you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait till persecution come to where they start snatching brothers and sisters out their homes, and then you start thinking about, well, dang, what am I do if they take my kid? What am I do if they put that on as a deal breaker? Your kid for this truth. Your kid or the Lord. And you gotta choose the Lord every time. You gotta choose the Lord every time. Because if you don't, it's wraps. It's finito. You finished. Because you chose something that the Lord can give you more of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, as crazy. If somebody say that's crazy. But you gotta think this is the same. You understand how it is, right? Yeah. When it came to, like, me and brothers talking about this, when it came to Ezekiel, right? He told Ezekiel that his wife was gonna die, and he had to suck it up and go preach the gospel. This was coming. It's true. People don't understand that when it comes to persecution and tribulation, it come with some harsh realities. It comes with some harsh things. It comes with things that make you sad, make you want to cry. That's that suffering. That's that suffering. Just like how y'all was shot, we gotta suffer too. We gotta go through too. Now, Lord willing, it don't happen, but it's a possibility that it could. And if you put in that predicament, if you put in that situation, now we know that, we hoping that we'll stand 10 toes down, Lord. We don't know. But you should want to pray for that. You should want to. If you don't have that in your spirit now, you should want to. Because you don't want to be that guy, that sister, that brother, right? That say, man, to hell with that. To hell with this truth. I need my kids. I need whatever I need. This. I need that. This truth ain't worth my kids. This truth ain't worth my job. This truth ain't worth my money. You don't want to have that mindset, because that's gonna finito you. You're gonna be done. You're gonna be finished because you made your choice. You made your choice, right? And the Most High, He want to know who you choosing. Is it me? You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself that, right? So let's go to Genesis chapter 22, right, in verse 2. Let's get another count, right? So boom. Now Abraham, he done had to let Ishmael go about his business, right? Now let's see what happened here, right? So we had Genesis chapter 22 and verse 2. It says, he said, take now thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell of thee. So boom. Fast forward. Now he done let Ishmael go, not just Isaac. Then the Lord come this time saying, hey, I need you now. I know Ishmael gone now. Now it's time for you guys. I need you to offer up your only son as a sacrifice. Think about that. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's a real deal moment right there. Right? And let's see what our forefather did. Right? It says, and Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men, right, with them, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood of burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place which God had told him. So Abraham heard what the Lord say do, and he got straight up to it. So in his mind, he is prepared to take this loss. He is prepared to give up his son, right? And that's how we got to be in our mind. We got to be prepared to take some losses things. We got to be prepared to give us some things for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We got to prepare ourselves, right? Especially for the time that's to come, right? It says it's going to be Jacob's trouble, the time that's worse than any other time in the entire time of history. So we don't know what Esau going to be doing. We don't know what these heathen got up their sleeve. So you got to be prepared, right? At least praying or asking the Lord to build your faith up to where you can be prepared, to build your faith up to where you don't fold, right? It says, then on the third day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar, right? It says, and Abraham said unto his young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And you just gotta imagine, right? He going through this whole process like, dang, even though this is my son, you know, man, tying him up, right? Probably to tie him up, get him prepared, lay him down, man. But he willing to give it all up for the Most High, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Man, it's mighty story, mighty account, where it says, in the night, and they went both of them together, right? And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? So Isaac, he kind of like, what lamb at? I see we got all these things for the offering, but what the lamb at though? Right? Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together, right? And they right, it says, and they came to the place which God had told of him, and Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son, right, and laid him on the altar upon the wood, right? And that's on faith talk right there in verse 8. Where he said, hey, the Lord will provide a lamb, right? If you understand what I'm saying, like he like, hey man, the Lord will provide a lamb. Right? He just followed through him. He followed through, he just doing what the Lord say do, man. Right? And this is the thing. You gotta think yourself, right? You don't want to be, you got sometimes it's like this. In certain things in life, you be head on about. You're like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fall through with it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might sound crazy, I'm gonna fall through it. I'm gonna go through it. When it comes to with the Most High, we start second guessing, start contemplating. I don't know. Should I? Might not. You gotta be all in when it comes to the Most High. Our people be all in when it comes to anything else, right? They be all in when it's time to them go for a drive, right? To pull up on so and so, to run down on Lil Pookie and Ray Ray, and they all in, right? And our people, they be all in for the sack. Man, I'm finna go ahead and get this pound. I'm finna go crazy. I'm all in. Some of our people, they all in. Man, all I gotta do is just I'm ready. I'm on some scammers, you know what I'm saying? Some scam-ish, right? Hey, they all in. I'm ready. I'm down. I'm all in, right? Or whether it be a college football career, whatever. I'm all in for this career. I'm all in for the training. I'm all in for the practices. I'm all in for the being in the game room. How much so for your how about some y'all shot? Right? Because when everything that you all in for, it comes with a price, right? Whether it be a career, a doctor, it's gonna be some late nights. It's gonna be some tests, some trials. It's gonna be some times it's not gonna be easy. But what people do, they keep going because they all in. How much on this truth? You gotta keep going if you really all in. Even though you might get persecution here, even though you might get tribulation there, even though you might get this or take an L here, take a loss here, take a loss there. You gotta continue to be all in until the last second, right? And we're seeing the build up here. Abraham, he was all in. He going through all the motions. And that's how we gotta be. We gotta be all in, right? It says, Abraham said, my Salakia. In verse 10, it says, Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. So this is he about to go down with it, right? And it says, and the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here am I. And he said, lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him, for now I know that thou fearest God. Seest thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son from me. Right? So it says, you ain't withhold your son from me. You was ready to give him freely to me. Right? So we got to be able to take some loss for Lord, give up some things for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is the mindset of our forefather, right? Our forefather, Abraham. This was his mindset. He was ready to give up what he had for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, something that was precious to him, right? And we all have different things that we hold dear to us, that's precious to us. We got to be able to say, if it comes down to it, I choose the Most High. That's how it gotta be, right? It's how it gotta be, and that's really being all in. That's really being truly devoted to the cause, to this truth, to the Lord, to the kingdom, right? Truly devoted, truly convinced in your mind. This is it. This is all. That's all I got. So I'm all in. Just like when you got like when I don't know too much about poker, right? But I know they like when they had a time, like, man, bump it, they just put all their chips in. They put all their chips in, all in bump. I win, I lose, I lose. They all in, right? Hey, we gotta take that on the Lord, right? They could do it on any, they could be all in there, they'll spend $1,000 on their damn lottery tickets, right? On $100 on a bet. Man, I'm all in. Just to come up. I can take a loss, but I can come up. All I gotta do is I just gotta put all this in, and I can, just like on the movie, what's the movie with Shark Tale, right? It's like it on movie Shark Tale, right? He had a chance to anyway, his point is he seen that he had a chance to make $1 million, right? Now there's a possibility, I forgot how much money it was, but it was a lot of money, right? It's a possibility he could have took an L, but he blindly, or he was so head on to it, he was all in. And it's something bad, did happen. But the point is, he was like, I'm all in to get this win. But how much so being all in, like we say, we want to, some people may be all in, like on a scam, do this. If you all in, we'll double it, we'll triple it, whatever. Woo, right? So how much so being all in for the Most High, right? He can double anything. He can double our wealth. He can triple it. He can quadruple it, right? He can give us the kingdom. if we all in. And the kingdom is far greater, far valuable than anything in this entire world. There is nothing in this world that compares to the kingdom. There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. So you right now being all in, putting all your chips in, put everything you have on the table. Just give it all. Put everything on the table. That's how we gotta be in the truth. Put everything on the table. Willing, wanting to be all in for your how about some shot. Right? And Lord willing, you get that reward, which is the kingdom. Again, which is the greatest thing that you can ever have in the world. There's nothing in this world that can compare to the kingdom. I mean, I don't care if the five richest men in the world collabed together. They put all their money together and they bought something that was the most valuable thing in the world. That cannot compare to the kingdom of heaven. It's nothing compared to the kingdom of heaven. Right? So let's go back to let's get back to where was that. So let's go to Matthew. Right? So we see Matthew 10 and 37. So we see, right, how Abraham, he was prepared to give up his son, Shalom, Shalom. How Abraham was prepared to give up his son, right, for the Lord, right? And I was just saying, you might be in that situation, right, when all hell breaks loose, when that persecution comes, that you might be in a situation where, hey, they might try to pit your children against you. So let me read this. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 37. It says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, right? And he that loveth his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So Lord telling you right now, right? If you love your parents more than me, you love your children more than me, you're not worthy of me. Well, you got some people, think about this, when it's true, they know how their mother is about the wicked days, right? The wicked hell. They know how their mama is about Christmas, Thanksgiving, and they mama pressing them out. Instead of them just being real frank, like, mama, I can't do that. Not of course don't be disrespectful to your parents, of course not. But standing and being obedient to the Most High. That's the way you can be respectful. Like, hey, mom, I'm not doing that. You got some people that say, well, hey, this is for my mama, and they'll rather participate in a wicked day or a wicked act, following most to the evil, instead of saying, no, I'm not doing that. I don't love you that much that I'm gonna sin against the Most High. That's how you gotta think about it. You cannot love your parents more than your Most High. That's what's asking you, right? Any family member, it's anybody that you cannot love nobody more than love the Most High. You cannot be willing to break what the Most High told us to do for your family member, because that's an act of saying, well, hey, because the Lord said, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? You know the classics, right? So if you sin or you go off for your family, that's a clear act of that you love whatever family member that is more you love the Most High. And you can't think like that. You can't move like that. What Yahweh said, Yahweh said, he said, you're not worthy of me. You care for those people more than you care about me. You got some people that say, even though we don't supposed to be keeping Christmas Halloween, they say, well, it's for the kids. It's just for the kids. So you love your kids that much that you'll sin against the Most High God. Sin against his laws that he gave us as a heritage, as a nation. You will do that. You will break those laws for your kids. Think about how that sounds. The one who gave you them kids, the one who gave you your parents, the one who gave you your family members, the one that gave you these people, you'd rather you rather disrespect him and break his commandments to show love for them, to appease them more than you trying to appease the Most High. Because that's all it is. You're trying to please man more than trying to please the Most High. Right? So we gotta really put ourselves in this mindset that at the end of the day, if you got kids, I got kids. But at the same time, it's Most High, my kids, that's how it is. And Lord willing, continue to have that mindset, right? Lord will I continue to have that mindset to think like that, right? But you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. Because at the end of the day, the Most High gave them to me. So, you know, that is how it is. Everything that we have, man. And this is me speaking to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, this is the mindset you gotta have. You gotta talk yourself through this. You gotta work yourself up. Because persecution is coming. Trials and tribulations is coming. You gotta be ready to give something up. You gotta be able to lose your house. You might have the nicest house, you done set it all out. You got this going on, you got that going on. You gotta be able to get that up. Or you might have the nicest job, man. I mean, the job they come with this benefit, they come with that benefit, right? But it's gonna come a time where you gonna have to make a choice. What you gonna choose? What will you pick? What will you be willing to give up for the Most High? Ask yourself, right? Gotta ask yourself that. Now let's get another account, right? Now we're gonna go to Genesis and we go to 19, right? So we going into Lot's wife, right? Now y'all know the whole rundown. If you don't know, the Lord, he said he gonna destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, straight like that. He gonna destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, but he looking out for Lot. He telling like, hey man, get your family, y'all get up out of here, right? Get going, right? So now as they're doing this, right? Because when you read the whole account, it was crazy, right? But anyways, the angels end up snatching them like, come on, man, let's go, let's get y'all out of here, right? So we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 19. We're gonna go to let's go. Let me see. We can go to verse. I want to see what I want to start at. I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 17, so we can get the whole thing. It says, and it came to pass. It says, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee. So this is the commandment. The angel telling them, hey. This is what the Lord said. Hey, escape. Don't look back. Right? And a lot of us, right, is looking back. They looking back at the old man they used to be. They looking back at how that old woman, how she used to be in the world, right? The different men she had, the different whatever. Or this man, he looking at different women he had, the how much money he had because he was selling dope. He was doing that. And so he's looking back. Because they had to leave Sodom and Gomorrah. They had a whole life in Sodom and Gomorrah. And they had to leave it behind. And we had a life. We was in the world. But we had to leave it behind and not look back. And you got to think about it. When you looking back, are you really seeking the kingdom? Are you really seeking the Most High? Because say to seek ye Lord while you may be found. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. You can't look at two things. With one thing's in front of you, you can't look at something that's in front of you and something that's behind you at the same time. It don't work like that. The kingdom is what's ahead. The Most High is what's ahead. We gotta stay head forward, right? Ain't no time to do this, kind of side eyeing it, trying to look back with your side eye. No, you gotta keep your head forward. You gotta keep pressing forward, right? So boom, that's the thing he told me. Don't look behind, right? Neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain. And to think about this too, we trying to escape. We trying to escape Babylon. What did the Lord tell us? He said, come out of her, my people, right? And upon you escaping Babylon is a part of you not physically leaving Babylon, but you spiritually separating yourself from the wickedness of Babylon. That's you separating yourself. Thus, by you doing that, you can possibly actually escape Babylon. How? What am I saying when I say this? I'm saying, what do you mean when you say this? Go to 2nd Esdras 9 and 7. Right? 2nd Esdras 9 and 7. That's what it says. It says, and everyone that shall be saved from the nuclear fire and brimstone that's coming to Babylon, which is coming, Babylon is burnt. It's going to be burnt. Right? It's nothing you can say or do about it. It's coming. Right? And it says, and shall be able to escape. Right? By his works and by faith. So by you doing works of righteousness and having faith in Yahweh Shai, that is you separating yourself from Babylon. Because that's what that's doing. By you doing that, you're being holy. Holy just means to be separate, right? And that's what us being as a nation, a holy nation, a holy priesthood is about. Separating ourselves from the rest of the world, separating ourselves from the rest of society, right? And thus doing that, right? We have it's possible that we can escape because the Lord have mercy on us. Because why? We're doing the works of righteousness and having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So again, I'm reading it again, all the way through. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. So we have a chance to escape. We got a possible escape. And the Lord told us how to do it. He telling you how to escape. He telling you how to get salvation, right? It's like he telling you how to get. He telling you how to get out of here, right? But it's easier said than done because why? You got different turmoils, different trials and tribulations, different persecutions, right? Different things going on, right? Family members turning their back on you. They don't hang out with you no more. They don't text you no more. You don't know what's going on. They used to hit your phone up every day. Man, what's going on, man? What's good, man? Let's do this, let's do that. Now it's been years since you heard from them. Hell, you don't even know what they look like right now. That's what it comes with this truth. You look at that as the black sheep. Oh, dang, here his name. Here he come. They kind of doing this. Why? Because you changed so much. You're not the same person. You trying to keep laws, statutes, commandments. A lot of people can't get down with that. Right? A lot of people don't get down with that. A lot of people like to see you doing better. Right? They like to see the wicked you. They love to see that person. They love to see you when you smoking that blunt. They love to see you when you popping them pills, right? They love to see you when you popping this woman and that woman and that woman, this woman, that woman, that woman, that woman. Right? Not trying to make your wives. Right? They love to see that. Right? But when you make that change and you trying to live for the Lord, right? You lose relationships, friendships, all type of stuff. But you gotta be prepared to do that. You better be able to take that and continue on, right? But let's keep going. It says, and it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad that he said, escape for thy life. Oh, I read that part. So let's jump down verse 18. It says, and Lot said to them, oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me, and saved my life. I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, and I will not overthrow the city for which thou hast spoken. Right? Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was Zoar. Right? So he had to make haste. He had to get going. And we gotta get going. We gotta make haste. We got to make haste turn to the Most High God, right? We got to make haste. It says, I cannot do anything till thou come thither, right? And when you think about this, right? Think about this in the spirit, right? The more people make haste and return back to the Lord, right? And the let being sealed, that's gonna set in motion the destruction of Babylon. That's gonna set in motion the coming of Yahweh Shai. Because that we waiting on the let be sealed. We wait for the truth to spread to the four corners of the earth. And one might say, well, how could you say such things, right? How could you say such things? Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. Right? Matthew chapter 24 kind of puts you on game, let you know like this gotta happen first. Right? Matthew 24 and verse 14. It says, in this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. That's what Yahweh Shah said. So as the truth spreads to the four corners of the earth and the elect get sealed, right, boom, then shall the end come, right? And that process is people what? Making haste, right? But there's something to think about through the spirit though. But anyways, keep going. We at Genesis 19:23. It says the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Right? He overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities that which grew upon the ground, But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Right? So you don't want to be that person that's looking back. Right? You don't want to be looking back, man. You don't be looking back at that lifestyle you used to live, right? The different look, you don't be looking back thinking about, dang, I miss Lil Pookie and Lil Ray Ray, man. We used to be facing blunts like I don't know what. Dang, I miss that. You know what I'm saying? You see Lil Pookie and you up here watching Lil Pookie and Ray Ray on Instagram, watching their story. Dang, them boy look like they having a good time. And you thinking about how it used to be when you was back with them. Man, if I could just go back one more day, just be wicked for one more. That's off, right? That's off as hell. That's wicked as hell, man. Here you are, blessed with the knowledge of this truth, blessed with this understanding, and you thinking about going back to the world. If that ain't a wicked nigga, I don't know what to tell you. That's ungrateful, right? Just wild thinking, right? The Lord has blessed us with this truth. How ungrateful do you got to really be thinking about going back to that old lifestyle, that old man? Because he don't need us in the truth. That's 100% fact. Never think you need it in the truth. The Lord can he can have anybody, he can bless the truth. He can get his understanding to anybody. But he gave it to you. So don't take it for granted and start looking back. Damn, they're trying to break your neck, look back. Trying to look back into the world. Trying to look back into that old lifestyle that you used to live. That old man. That old vessel. Now you got to keep pressing forward. Got to keep your head focused. Got to keep your head here, man. Right? It's a precept I want to get. Bear with me. I got it now. I'll praise my side. Just came back to me. Luke 9:62, right? It says, let's read it. I'm gonna go to just jump straight 9:62. It says, and Yahweh Shah said unto him, no man having put it. I want to kind of go back. I want to kind of read up though, because this is kind of. I'm gonna read up. It said, we're going with verse 59. It says, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahweh said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of God. It said, let the dead bury their dead. Understand that. Cause that's crazy. That's crazy. Think about it. He told him, come follow me. Following Yahweh, that's life. If the Lord put this spirit in you to this truth, that's life. He said, man, let the dead bury the dead, man. Because the people in the world, they dead. They're literally walking zombies. They know different than a nigga that's in the grave. Seriously. Without this truth, you're no different than somebody that's in the grave. That's what it said. Listen, let the dead bury. You the same thing. Without this truth, you the same thing. You same thing as somebody that's in the grave. You're dead. You're dead. That's what it is. Because with this truth, it's everlasting life. Right? Baruch 4:1. Right? Let me get it real fast. And I'm gonna get ready to close out. Cause I gotta get ready. Gotta get some rest. You know what I'm saying? So even though this is not our rest, but gotta get ready for new moon. So this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endure forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. So, anyways, like how I said, man, let the dead, right? Just think about that. But anyways, another said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. Right? And Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. So you gotta think about what he's saying, right? You got people saying, he's saying, come follow me. Through the spirit, Yahweh telling us, come follow me. Come follow me. Do what I did. Follow me. Right? Keep these commandments. Strive for perfection. Follow me. But you got people that's coming up with excuses. Wait, hold on. Before I do that, let me do this. Before I do that, wait, hold up. Before I take this too serious, let me just smoke one more blunt. Before I take this too serious, let me just splat this last one. This last one. This last shot. Just one more time. Wait, hold on, Lord. Before I really take this too serious, let me do this. Just think about it. Stop coming up with the excuses. Stop trying to find a way to look back. Stop trying to figure a way to backtrack. It's all about moving forward, man. You got different companies, right? Their slogans about moving forward, pressing forward. How much so this true? That needs to be our slogan. Always moving forward. Right? Always moving forward. Yes, sometimes you fall short, but you got to get back on and keep on pressing forward. Got to keep on going. Right? And stop trying to find excuses to go back. Just keep pressing forward. Right? Lord said ain't no man that have put his hand to the plow is fit for the kingdom. All this time you put all this work in, you done been to, I don't even know how many Sabbath camps you done been to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times you done pulled a fast with a brother. I don't even know how many times you done prayed, done read your scriptures, right? And then now you thinking about looking back. You done repented, right? Women, you done put on your dress, you got your fringes on, you dressing modest, right? You changed, you keeping the dietary laws, you keeping the Sabbath holy, right? Then start thinking about that old lifestyle. Start thinking about that old way you used to live, how much fun you used to have, how much folly you used to get into. Say you doing that, you looking back. You got your hand on the plow. How you gonna work? How you gonna work with your hand on the plow when you looking back that way? You need to be looking ahead. Focus on what you need to do. If you're doing that, you're not fit for the kingdom. Because you distracted. You're not in the zone. You're not focused. Right? So Lord willing, I was edifying through the spirit though. Want to give honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Yeah. Some things you might have to give up for the kingdom, right? So, Shalom and Kwame Shalom.